everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV, and everyone get their hands in the in air because we're winners, baby. It was against the Wi-Fi password. I don't care. It was still a win. And Allister got a debut assist. Darwizzy getting a nice goal. I didn't watch the full game. I actually forgot we were playing today. I'm not going to lie to you. Also, apologies for no live streams recently. I've had a few Wi-Fi issues, so I've just been trying to sort those out. Tomorrow night, we will be back because I've been calling up me network and we're going to get that botched. But anyway, who cares? Because Jordan Henderson's leaving the football club and we just won a game of football. I feel like the Jordan Henderson one is the biggest news because we've been speculating, is this going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Jordan Henderson is confirmed to be joining Al-Attifaqi, according to numerous sources, including Fabrizio Romano, as well as Liverpool sources coming out and saying that not only has he already got the personal terms agreed, but now the clubs have came to a mutual agreement of £12 million. Wow, I'm happy that this is happening, I'm not going to lie. Now, I know that there's going to be fans saying, oh my goodness, James, why are you happy about this? Again, I'm just someone who wants to, embrace change. It's not against Jordan Henderson. It's not disrespect against Jordan Henderson. I think 12 years is very respectable at a football club like ours, and that's something that can be looked at and admired, but doesn't mean it needs to be 13 or 14 years. I just think that would have been pointless. I always like to say there's squad depth and there's false depth, and I just didn't think it was worth paying him 150k a week when I don't think he's going to make a difference. And I think in his mind, he believes he's already, if he's already going to the Saudi League, yes, it's because of the huge money, but if you genuinely believe you could compete at the top level still, you'd like to think a mentality monster would stay at the club. But again, I'm happy because not only are we now rebuilding, but you also see Jordan Henderson going and getting the biggest bag that he'd ever receive. And you think about one of the biggest, unexpected overachievers in football, Jordan Henderson's on that list with the fact, he came from Sunderland, had a quite meaty start, but then really started finding his own, and then eventually became captain and won us everything. So it was insane, the journey, and I'm sad from that point of view that it's over, but I do think for the best part of 24 months, he's not been the same Jordan Henderson. So happy for him, happy for us, and let's move on. Steven Gerrard and Jordan Henderson linking up again as well, so that'll be interesting. But again, what do you think? I know everyone's fearful of leadership and everyone's fearful because Fabinho's going to leave. And I completely understand, where's the replacements? Where's the two midfielders that are going to replace Hendo and Fabinho? And all I can say is, the transfer window is still open for quite a while. I would be very surprised, even with Liverpool, if they did not get business done in terms of the midfield options. And even seeing the pre-season game today, it's a pre-season game against the Wi-Fi password. It was great atmosphere from their fans, from the looks of it, when I watched it back on the highlights. But one thing that was really encouraging was seeing new faces. Allister getting a debut goal, Darwin Núñez getting a second season, which I know my stance on Darwin Núñez, but I still, can you 100% rule out the possibility of improvement with a second season? No, so I'm not going to be deluded and say he definitely can't improve just because I think it's unlikely. And he came in, he got a goal. I don't know how his overall performance was because, as I mentioned, I never watched the full game. But he got a goal. Diogo Jota getting 2 goals, and that's the guy who I think should be one of our main outlets, whether he plays left wing. And I think Jota can work as a left winger if Gakpo's in the middle, as it kind of worked, or what it seemed to look like today. But I'm also happy with him playing down the middle, and that's where I prefer him, and then Diaz playing on the left when he's available as well. So yeah, it's always encouraging. It's always good to see Liverpool winning games of football. Gakpo getting a goal, Jota with 2. That's the one thing we need to look forward to next season. Not because we scored against Wi-Fi passwords, but when did we improve? When we had attacking options, when Diaz came back, Jota came back, Gakpo was available. When we had that heavy firepower, kind of top heavy, if you know what I'm saying. That's the kind of approach that we've had throughout the whole time with Jurgen Klopp being here, with Mane, Firmino, Salah, where they were scoring 80 goals between the three of them. But now, if these players aren't as good as those individual players, let's get multiple of them where Darwin's getting 15 to 20 goals, Gakpo's getting 10 to 15 goals, Jota's doing the same, Salah's getting the usual 30, and that really does increase your chances of, okay, if it's not going to be winning the league title because you have a leaky defence, which, by the way, we still need to solve, we need to get a defender. But if that is the fear going into the season, at least you're going to have an exciting season. Do you remember 17-18? I'd love a season like 17-18 if we could actually still compete and try and compete for trophies and, go far in the Europa League and go far in the cup competitions. I'm not just expecting us to get back to a 90-point standard straight away. I know how good you have to be for all that. And even though I rate Szoboszlai and even though I rate McAllister, I was devoted not to see Sobbo get a nice little debut goal. You know what I mean? But at least we got to see him in the Liverpool shirt. Let me know, actually, did Szoboszlai have a good game? And again, few highlights is all I've seen. The goals is pretty much the whole of what I've seen. So I'm not too sure if he had a good game or not, or if he started, or if he came on. I believe he did start. Trent also started in midfield, but I don't think that's one to take as a notice that he's going to be starting in midfield. Again, I still think we need a right back for that. Pavard really would kill two birds with one stone when you think about it. Right back, centre back, World Cup winner, experienced, fairly cheap. I feel like that'd be a no-brainer, but I think we're going to persist with Trent at right back. And by the way, my phone just died, so if that was a bit of a weird transition, I apologise, but we're back now. Basically, the point that I was even trying to make there is that I don't see Trent playing in midfield for a consistent run of games. We've got Conor Bradley as the backup and Trent is the main right back. That's the way I see it, and there's a huge possibility of him playing that inverted role again, which will be great because he done really well there. So I'm happy with these factors. I like a new team, I like new faces, and sort of the point that I wanted to touch on earlier is the 17-18 season. If we can do this, but also, kind of like 2 seasons ago where we're competing for League Cups and FA Cups, if we can leave if we can leave a season with silverware, that's the most important factor, because that's what creates the occasions, the experiences, the memories. It's what adds the total tally of Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool. So that's why, I just want to go and see us compete, because I'm not expecting the 90 points instantly. But let me know what you think, and I think everyone's really excited. Think about how good this is for the football club right now. I think when we see new players, we all kind of get together and we're like, okay, this is exciting and we can work with this, and okay, now we need more players, but at least now we're acquiring funds to get these said new players. And if we don't get the said new players, we know there's no excuses. We've just got rid of Henderson, possibly Fabinho next through the door. That's going to be 300k near enough in wages, plus 300k I think combined, that the club are going to get to free up in terms of their weekly salary that they're paying players. Also, they're going to acquire £50+ million for 2 players that are 30+. 2 players that are 30+, and now that shows we need to go out there and at least get another midfielder. I'd say 2 midfielders and a centre-back. I'd love a midfielder and a centre-back. I've said this plenty of times. I sound like a broken record, but I think it's required. And if you want to go and compete, then yes, these things are necessities opposed to wants. Before, when you win the league, okay, I still think it's a necessity to go out there and build and strengthen and acquire new faces, because you've always, like Sir Alex, like Pep Guardiola, you've always got to keep it chopping and changing. Even if it's just 2-3 new faces who can try and change it up a little bit. Like Manchester City didn't need Riyad Mahrez when they got Riyad Mahrez. I understand we can't pay the wages that Man City can pay for a Riyad Mahrez. We probably couldn't pay the fee that they pay for Riyad Mahrez from Leicester. The point that I'm leading to is that we can still go out there and get what would be our version of Riyad Mahrez, which a couple of seasons ago was Taki Minamino, for instance. And listen, I didn't think Taki was that good, but he still came in. He won us cups. He was a big influence for the cups, and it added to the overall tally of Jurgen Klopp's time here, which is what's most important. When he leaves, as great as it is to say that he's won everything once, let's try and multiply some of these. Let's try and make some of these plural. And the only way we do this is by getting new faces, because, we got one of everything with Henderson. We got one of everything with Fabinho, with Virgil. And Virgil's still here, and so is Salah, and that's great. But in the next 12 to 24 months, we're going to start talking about these players leaving the club as well. So it's always about constantly looking. There's always going to be a goodbye and there's always going to be a hello whenever a season ends and starts, and that's one thing that we've got to take into huge consideration, and embrace it. Don't fear it, embrace it, and trust Jurgen Klopp's judgment that he can rebuild this team. And also, one thing we've all complained about is the stubbornness. Well, now there's no one to be stubborn with. I mean, maybe he could just go and start loving Szoboszlai and McAllister to where they play week in, week out up until the 40, but I don't think that's going to be the case, because Jurgen's only here for 3 to 4 more years. I think that the remaining years that he has as a Liverpool manager, he's going to spend that whole time rebuilding, and then when the new manager comes in, hopefully we'll have a world-class team that he can take over, and that's the hope, that's the ambition, and it can only start when you let players like Jordan Henderson go. And you can't ignore the financial situation as well, by the way. We were never going to get money for Jordan Henderson until Saudi came along. No one in this world I don't care where you're from. No one's paying 12 million for a 33-year-old. Okay, he's Liverpool captain. Okay, this, that. But even Saudi wouldn't have bought Henderson if it weren't for Gerrard being there. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get money, add to our funds, and let go of a player that didn't look great in recent times and didn't look like he was going to improve. So don't take it as I'm shitting on Henderson when I say I'm happy that he's left. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for us. He agreed to go before we even agreed to fee, so he definitely wanted to go, and that's why can't we be happy for Captain Hendo? You know what I mean? And let's be happy for us, because now that this reinforces that urgency, as I mentioned, to get new midfielders, because there's no excuse now. So let me know what you think about the game overall. I'd love to get your specific details. We are going to be back with live streams tomorrow again. I've had so many network issues. I'm even going to be using my neighbour's Wi-Fi to upload this video. So it's been a huge nightmare, but thank you for bearing on with us on JRTV. Smash a like if you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy or you disagreed with any particular points that I made, then please do note them in the comments down below, because this is a channel for discussion. It's a channel for agreeing and disagreeing, but ultimately finding a common ground and all having a common goal, which is the success of Liverpool Football Club. So always keep that in mind when putting out your points. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in a bit. Peace.